Whitcomb is both my trusty steed and my irreplaceable friend. No matter what may happen, the two of us can overcome it together. Let us keep our heads high, Whitcomb. Nothing shall keep us down. There's nothing to fear, dear Whitcomb. I shall always be by your side, regardless of circumstance. We're supposed to study until the broadcast starts, but I'm way too worried about that. Are we really going to war? I don't know how Lambert does it. He doesn't seem fazed by any of this. All I can do for now is take care of this horse. You never know when we might be forced to go home after all. There's a high likelihood that the Chancellor's speech at noon will be exactly what everyone is expecting. I'm rather uncertain how my father will react to the reformists going and starting a war. You haven't been instructed to go back home yet, have you? I received no word from my father, no. That just saves me the trouble of having to decline. But that also means it's unlikely I'll be able to get in contact with my brother for some time, too. I guess that's not all that surprising. Rufus once told me I should think about my own position as a member of the House of Alberea. Right now, I'm considering what I ought to be doing here at the Academy. Well said. I'll see you in the classroom at noon, then. Was the last time Eustace saw his dad when his dad had him, locked up and arrested Machias? Have they not spoken since then? I have to decide where I stand, both as a member of the House of Alberea and a student of this academy. Ugh. I may loathe the Chancellor, but I suppose I'll hear what he has to say during this special broadcast. You think so? Man, I would also decline. The first thing you tell me after you abducted me is again that I have to go home. No. I thought doing some lacrosse practice would help clear my head, but that's not going so well. I'm still so shaken that Crossbell has a weapon capable of annihilating Gorelia Fortress like that. This reminds me of something my grandfather told me. Weapons only lead to the creation of more weapons. Exactly. What did you think aiming those two giant weapons at Crossbell would get this country? I take it you're wondering whether all this happened because the Rhineford group built those railway guns? I can understand how you feel, but none of this is your fault. You know that, right? Yeah, Dieter would have just found another excuse. I really do, but still. This also made me realize how heavy of a burden Mother's been shouldering on her own all this time. To be honest, I'm a little relieved that the railway guns are gone. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that. I wouldn't worry about it. There aren't any easy answers here. All we can do is stick together as a class and see what the future holds. You really have to wonder just what kind of weapon Crossbell's developed. I've got to clear my head and focus on practice. Who knows how many more we'll get to have. Elisa, take heed. Absolutely none of this is your fault, understand? Look at Ferris being a good friend. You are independent of the issues surrounding your family, and trying to shoulder that burden is pointless. Thank you, Ferris. I feel relieved just to hear you say that. Well, I only say so for my own sake. How was one supposed to focus when her rival is so visibly uneasy? It's plain to see how uneasy Elisa has been of late. Seeing her in such a state makes it difficult for me to focus. Cute. Hey, Teresha. This probably isn't the best time, but thanks for staying here with me. I'm glad that I got you around. Likewise, besides, I have other reasons to stay behind too. With my family in the Croizon province, it's likely that I would be evacuated somewhere should war break out. And if that happens, I would never be able to return to Thor's. I would rather make my own decisions than have others do so for me. You know, sometimes it seems like you're even tougher than me. Even if I were to go home, I would be worried constantly about you and everyone else. Being here with Emily, on the other hand, cheers me up and fills me with a sense of hope. When there's nothing you can do, you've got to blow off some steam with some exercise. Words. Yeah, hopefully working up a sweat will calm us down. It wasn't your fault. Kia was having a bad day is all. Slight identity crisis. It's not Kia's fault. We can't blame the precious child. Janitor. Don't let yourself get too nervous. Every last one of you is a valuable part of this academy. Nobody knows what'll happen in the future, but there's no sense in worrying about it now. Sure, things will change if war breaks out, but as of right now, you're still students at Thor's military academy and very important to all of us. We all have an off day. Yeah, Kia's off day was listening to, dude, why can I not think of her name? Dieter's daughter in the first place. Why am I blanking on her name? I imagine they're still somewhere on campus. Okay, fine. Maribel, yes, thank you. You would think I could remember that, considering it has Belle in the name. Yep. First, the Academy Festival ends with that awful news, and now the government is writing an official statement. I keep hoping and praying it's not what I'm afraid it's going to be, but I know worrying about it won't solve anything, but I can't help it. Ever since the terrorist attack this summer, it's been one thing after another. Looking back, it seems like it was inevitable that it would come to this. Alright, no one else is here. Where in the heck? Okay, so we have in here, oh, that has a marker on it. Okay. I'm gonna go over to the old schoolhouse first, just in case there's someone over here before I trigger anything. That also has a mark on it. Okay. I'm intrigued. Hey.
I still can't believe there's a weapon out there powerful enough to level Gorelia Fortress like that. I didn't think you could get much more powerful than those railway guns.
Yeah, having seen the railway guns in person, I can hardly believe it myself. There are rumors that whatever that weapon is, it's managed to fend off the armored divisions several times, too.
Still, can't help but wonder what the Chancellor's gonna say in his national address. Whatever it is, I have a feeling that it's gonna shake up some things around here. This is a military academy, after all. Who knows? We might even see active duty. Even as an engineer, I doubt they'd make an exception for me. Could be that my lazy days tinkering with orbital bikes are numbered.
Don't say that, George.
Well, no point stressing out too much about the future till we're there. Didn't mean to be a downer about it. Go on and listen to the broadcast, but don't worry yourself too much. This country may go through a lot in the coming years, but ultimately, we have a say in our future.
That's a good way to look at it. I don't want to look away from what's happening. We have to be aware of our present to take charge of our future. But anyway, you wouldn't happen to know where Crow is, would you? He hasn't shown up to class today.
Crow? Can't say that I do. He came by yesterday with a box of things he'd borrowed from me, but he never mentioned having any plans today.
That seems like something you do when you're about to disappear.
Dang. Anyway, I'll keep asking around to see if anyone else knows where he is.
Well, knowing Crow, he's probably just wandering around somewhere. Just keep looking around and I'm sure you'll run into him.
Will do.
I know it's easier said than done, but life's a lot easier when you try to stay optimistic about stuff. Especially stuff like the Chancellor's address today. Look at Crow, for instance. He just wandered off like he didn't have a care in the world. I guess that's just the way he is. I'm sure you'll stumble across him before too long, though. Maybe. You can have lazy days tinkering with orbital tanks instead, it's fine. Yeah, I don't think they would put him on, like, the front line or anything. That'd be idiotic to take an orbital genius and be like, no, instead of having you make and repair weapons, I will throw you into the front lines. You really are short-tempered. Maybe eating something might calm you down a bit? Dang it, time feels like it's dragging on forever. Why couldn't Chancellor Osborne just make his address first thing in the morning? How am I supposed to get anything done when all I can think about is how long it's gonna be till the speech starts? Hello, Gordon Ramsay. There have been demonstrations happening regularly in Heimdall lately. My son Greg works there, so I'm quite worried about him, to tell the truth. I hope he doesn't get dragged into a riot or something like that. Word has it that everything is getting a lot more expensive over in the capital. It's just one piece of bad news after another lately. Okay. Hi. I never expected to see Garrelia Fortress under attack like that. To make matters worse, Heimdall's been full of protesters ever since. I was hoping to go home, but with everyone panicking like this, I can't see it happening anytime soon. I guess all I can do is sit back, relax, and read some books. Cut to Greg leading the riots? He might. They raised the price of his coffee too much. Apparently there are still multiple demonstrations going on in Heimdall. My father's been able to mitigate the worst with help from the government, but there's only so much he can do. I hope he isn't pushing himself too hard. Being powerless is just so frustrating. I hope my father isn't overworking himself again. We ended up here since we didn't have anything better to do. Do you think this is an okay place to be spending our time, though? We really can't do anything. That definitely wasn't the way I'd imagined the festival would end. Maybe I should have gone home too. Did I talk to Dorothy twice? Or did I just talk to her once? Oh, beautiful boys. At least you're always here for me. We definitely only spoke to her once. I'm glad I returned for that. This photo of Garrelia Fortress is just unfathomable. My heart just sinks every time I look at it. Which reminds me, Rex has changed. He hasn't even been rambling on about girls. Wonder if he's okay. It's strange to see Rex, of all people, acting so serious. I wonder if he's okay. What a camera angle. Garrelia Fortress, gone. This picture's just unbelievable. The future has been shrouded in gloom lately. I seem to have lost the ability to tell fortunes since waking up this morning. Perhaps this is a sign that the threads of fate are being tangled. I really like that they're bringing that up here. Wait, what about crossroads? I'm no longer able to tell fortunes. Could this mean that fate is coming to a crossroads? Yes, it is.
Oh, Reem.
I figured I could find you here.
Yep. The student council will be passing out radios for every classroom, so I'm trying to figure that out at the moment. Are you guys planning on listening to the Chancellor's statement too?
How could we not? He's supposed to be addressing the entire country after all.
Yeah. Whatever it's about, it's going to be something big. I don't think anyone could have imagined the relationship between Crossbell and Erebonia going south like this. I sure hope Angie's okay. What with all of this political turmoil right now.
Toa.
Sorry about that. I'm the student council president. I need to stay focused on what's going on right here, right now. Angie would laugh at me if she could see me getting distracted over her anyway.
That's right. We've got to focus on getting through this. Still, don't try to take on more than you can handle. I'm not the only one ready to give you a hand if you need it.
Will do. Thanks. Oh yeah, why were you looking for me in the first place?
Right. I almost forgot. Do you have any idea where Crow might have gone?
Crow? Nope, I'm afraid not. He didn't mention that he had to go anywhere when I talked to him yesterday, at least.
Was yesterday the last time you saw him?
Yeah, he was giving me back some of the stuff he borrowed from me since graduation's getting so close.
That definitely sounds like something you do when you're about to run away.
That was nice of him, but then he gave me everything he borrowed from Angie, too. It's only polite to give back the stuff you borrowed in person. Now it's more work for me.
Well, that's a very Crow thing to do. Well, I'll keep asking around and find out if anyone knows where he's gone.
Sounds like a good idea. Oh, but make sure you're back in your classroom by noon, okay?
Of course.
Or I could just go get my radio from home and just carry it around with me while I search. Problem solved. Crow came over yesterday to return everything he'd borrowed from me, but I haven't seen him since. Maybe he's off somewhere in Trista. Crow's the only one who'd be off waltzing around town at a time like this. Make sure to find him and haul his lazy butt right back here, okay? I'll see what I can do. Okay. Anyone up here? No. We haven't seen Vincent at all, or Sarifa. It's very sad. I want more Vincent and Sarifa. Because she's adorable, what other reason do we need to look for it? Fair enough. Okay, well, I think I've spoken to everyone. I mean, I haven't tried to go into the auditorium because I guess I just assumed it'd be locked because it always is, but I guess we can double check. Yes, it is locked. Okay. So the literal only other place to go is the old schoolhouse. You're surprised our Arcus don't have an orbital radio? Well, considering how long it took us to use our speakerphone on the Arcus, maybe it does have a radio.
Nothing out of the ordinary has happened here in the old schoolhouse ever since that night. We kind of ended up pushing it to the back of our minds, what with the way things have been going in Crossbell. Huh? It's unlocked. I wonder if someone's already inside. George is in the engineering building right now, so it can't be him. If any of the students just idly wandered in here, they'd be in real danger. I should probably take a look inside, just in case. I checked around inside of the old schoolhouse, but there didn't seem to be anyone around. But all the same, I didn't want a chance leaving anyone down there, so I decided to check the 7th floor.
Okay, I'm here now. Found Millium. You're not who I was looking for.